What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Listen out, for all the failed journalists that's on Bleacher Report, first thing first, ESPN first, y'all getting fired right now too, because y'all not smart about sports, because that's not what y'all, it's not your culture. Because when you try to do advanced metrics and all these stats that, let me tell you right now, you people comment talking about advanced metrics and all analytics and don't account for inflation and pace of play and rule changes, you already lost your argument. Your argument is lost. I mean, I hate to tell you, but when you don't account for inflation, it's like an economist accounting for he using metrics for fucking 2025 for 2035. It doesn't make sense. I always wanted to say this, but I got time, I guess today, to obliterate that shit. Like totally obliterate. If you, Kobe Bryant came in '96. If you're using metrics for in 2015, from 2015 all the way to 2025, 2015 to 2025, or 2013 to 2020, 2013 to 2025, when the rules, inflation, if you don't account for inflation and all that, you're an idiot. That's why we call, if y'all know who Mansa Musa is, we call him the richest guy on earth, because if you inflate the money he had back in that time, he's the richest man ever. Inflation, ladies and gentlemen, and you guys are idiots. I just realized that. That's why you guys are in sports and not in finance or in rural government or in politics or stuff like that. The signs, because y'all stupid, and y'all poison the minds of millions and millions of young Americans, black Americans that I may add, and you got dumb black Americans on my channel just spurring dumb shit. Just spurring dumb shit. Like in the 80s, you can't account for the dead ball era from the 80s, when they had the highest pace era ever. In the 60s, you can't, when they was 120, 115 points a game, you can't compare it. That's why Michael Jordan say, never compare me to all-time greats, because I just didn't play with them. I didn't play against them. I didn't play in their era. That's why it's great to judge by era. And you can judge, and how you can get to like the best player if you want to have a fun, just want to have a fun debate topic and comment. If you want to have those conversations, you can always say, you can always get to, okay, 90s era, this guy dominated. 90s guy, who's the player of the decade? Who dominated the decade in the era the best? That's how you can get up. That's why you always gotta have Michael Jordan to go. Cause you look at era of the 90s, he just dominated. You get the 2000 player of the decade, it's Kobe Bryant. Look at the players, 2000s, LeBron James. Look at the 2020s, it may be Nikola Jokic or Giannis, right? And then we can go to the era and look at the events. We look at the events that we look at the inflation and rule change, see who dominated, and then we can compare it and have fun like that. But we cannot look at raw numbers from different eras and decades and don't account for inflation. You already lost the argument. You already lost. Your argument is dead on arrival. You DOA. It's DOA. Like, it's not even nothing to debate or talk about. It's just people say, well, no, you just don't like them. No, it's just dumb. That's why I go to when the time LeBron came in the era to the time Kobe left the era when his Achilles tear. The time they played in the same amount of time frame, what they did. That's why it's easy to compare Kobe and Tim Duncan, Kobe and Shaq. That's why it's easy to compare these guys, Kobe, Dwayne. It's easy to compare Kobe and teammate because they played in the same time frame. That's why you can have these conversations, debates. That's why you had a Michael and Clyde Drexler. Michael said, nigga, don't compare me to this nigga, and cooked his ass. And nobody ever talked about Clyde and Michael Jordan again, because they played in the same era. That's why you can talk about Magic and Bird how you talk about Magic and Bird. All this shit is fallacies, and if you're a true journalism, and if you're true economics and true inflation and true numbers guy, you will inflate Kobe Bryant numbers to the greatest numbers ever. If you look at Kobe Bryant 05-06 season, there'll be a 40-point game in Michael Jordan 80s. It'll be 40 points per game, Michael Jordan era and LeBron James era. If you look at Kobe, you inflate Kobe Bryant numbers into this era, LeBron era, Michael Jordan era, it's the greatest scoring numbers ever. You inflate it to Will Chamberlain era. It's the greatest scoring numbers ever. If you inflate it and accumulate it for pace of play, rule changes from that era, that's what you're going to get to if you assimilate it. So you have to come with real numbers and facts Nasamusa's the richest man ever. They inflated his number to what the numbers is today. If you inflate Kobe Bryant numbers in his era, it'll be the greatest scoring numbers ever. Which they was giving MVPs to guys that was getting numbers, not winning in that time frame. But now you have to, when it comes to Kobe, his era, you have to have a great team and great team success and great stats to go, individual stats go along with it. So it's DOA. We don't need to hit. If you're not gonna start out with inflation, if you're not gonna do that, just shut the FFL, because you're not gonna tell me Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins is better than Joe Montana and John Elway, because they got better statistical. Matt Ryan is better than Joe Montana. You're gonna tell me Matt Ryan is better than Joe Montana? You're gonna tell me Russell Wilson is better than Joe Montana? Russell Wilson's a champion. Got all the stats. One of the best touchdowns since first show. More touchdown passes than Joe Montana. You're gonna come out Super Bowl winning Russell Wilson is better than Super Bowl winning John Elway. That's what you're telling me. Because you're not accounting for inflation right off the rip. So you gotta y'all guys get y'all numbers together, come back in the comments, make videos on YouTube, and do that. If that's your lane. See, my lane, that's why my lane always gonna win, because I'm gonna do raw numbers, eye test, I'm gonna come for inflation, and I'm gonna do it like that. I'm not gonna start off as a number guy. Because I know I don't that's not my specialty. Because I'm not that great at numbers and inflating what era. I look at the guys that inflate it, and I say I'll bring it to my channel, and I just talk about it in a matter of fact. Okay, this guy be doing it here in this area. This guy, because I'm looking for inflation and rule changes, pace of play, more possessions in the game. So I count for the numbers I look, and I like, okay, I bring it to my channel. I don't do it myself. I don't get the true numbers myself. I look at other people that's experts in it. So become an expert at what you do. That's why it's good to look at raw numbers, what era you played in, and accumulate it when they play more play. Once you start thinking like who's better and better and played in a different time period, you're gonna lose if you don't come with the true raw inflation numbers for it. I mean, this is what it is. I like the video, comment this video. Sorry, fake journalism. I'm out.